Coach, I will have to say, I honestly really didn't expect that tonight. BBE's too good.
Yeah, we really played well in the first half. That was fun to see. Defensively, we just didn't give them any open looks. Maybe the best half of basketball we've played all year. And again, this is the time of year you want to start playing like that.
A player I had just mentioned, she comes off the bench. I'm talking about Taylor Borgening.
Yeah.
What kind of a spark does she give this team?
A lot of times instant offense. I mean, when she's possibly our most athletic girl, she can just get by people off the dribble. She knocked down some threes. When she's knocking down shots, she's really, really good because if you come out on her, she's going to go right by you. Good rebounder for her size because, again, she's athletic. She can get off the floor. So, yeah, I mean, when Taylor goes in the game, to me, she's just like a starter. So, that's a big lift for us when she comes in and does those things.
Let me ask you maybe kind of a weird question, okay? If you were playing against Sauk Centre,
Yep.
Who would you try to stop?
That's just it. That's the beauty of it. I mean, we've got 5 starters averaging between 9 and 12 a game. So, you really got to, after we played Minnewaska, they had an article in the Alec paper, and the Minnewaska coach was talking about that very question, and he said you got to kind of pick your poison. Are you going to guard them on the 3-point line, or are you going to try to prevent them from getting to the rim? I don't know. We haven't played a team that's been able to do both of those things. Not saying that it's not possible, but that's what I like about this team is we're very balanced.
Well, because the bench is important, isn't it?
Yep.
How do you work that rotation? What is your philosophy with that?
Taylor and Morgan, I give the starters 4 minutes, and then Taylor Morgan Gamrot are going to go in for Kelsey and Maddie. And then I give them another couple minutes, and then Tori goes in for Jill, and I want to spell Mason, so Kelsey goes in for her. And then when the time allows, I like to get Alyssa in for Rebecca. So, it's a rotation that's been working the last several games. And, when we stay out of foul trouble, we can do those types of things.
As I talk about this Sauk Centre girls team, I want to highlight Becca Weir here again. Not really offensively, but defensively. Can you talk about the things that she can do? Because I saw one time tonight where she was really moving her feet well. She was just sliding and shuffling so well. She can do that too, can't she? She
combines athleticism and smarts. I mean, she's always in the right spot. She's very good, like you said, at moving her feet and getting around people. She's a good anticipator. She can anticipate when that pass is going to come and then move her feet to get around it and steal it.
Because we concentrate so much. We love to talk about all these threes that Sauk Centre scores,
Yep.
but really defensively, and you look again, a player like Jill Klopacki, what does she do?
Yeah, and Jill can guard so many different types of people. Tonight she was guarding more of a post. She can guard perimeter people. But, she's just an awful good defensive player. She came out. I noticed at halftime she had 10 points. So she's just having a really fine year.
What about Kelsey Peschel?
Yeah, I like how, it took a few games for Kelsey to kind of get out of the kink. I think she was a little rusty after sitting for 5 games because of the fractured tailbone. And there's no question she's back. She's had 3 straight very good offensive games. She pushes the ball. She gets to the rim. And defensively, she's as good as we got.
It seems to me, am I correct in saying, say like last year when she played, many times she'd just kind of drive down there and just get hammered and
no, she's making better decisions.
Yeah.
She's getting to the rim, but she's getting better at understanding when she can't get to the rim. She's pivoting out of it. She's kicking it out. She's finding somebody else.
But it's again spacing, isn't offensively?
It is, and we want to get spread out. That's a big deal. We want to expose the defense. We want to create gaps. If you've got 2 people too close together, then there's not a very big gap to go through. So spacing is a big deal.
Sam, I'm just looking across the way here to BBE's Haley Bergman. Boy, I hope she's okay.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope Danielle was right. I talked to Danielle, our trainer, at halftime, and I said, boy, that did not look very good. And her comment was, I don't think it's as bad as it looks. So, I mean, it looked to me like a torn ACL. I pray that I'm wrong on that one, and I don't know that she's going to get in there again this year, but I just hope that it's nothing serious so that she can get back at it this summer again.
Man, it just happens way too often for female athletics.
Yeah, we've had we've had 2 knee injuries ourselves. Beth Middendorf tore her ACL. She's having surgery on Friday. Thankfully, Morgan Kranz did not tear her ACL and just has some stretched ligaments, so she's going to be able to get on the golf course this spring, and we're thankful for that.
Boy, I'm hoping, too, for Beth Middendorf because volleyball and basketball, you have some big plans for her, don't you?
Yeah, she's going to be a big part of our team the next couple of years. So, I know Beth is going to put the time in to rehab that, and I believe she's going to come back stronger than ever.
All right, Friday night you've got this Cromwell team. Yeah. They come from way up northeast, but they'll come down here. Now, hey, let me ask you, there will be a B squad?
There will be a B squad, and some folks asked me if passes are accepted. This is a regular season game, so it's just like tonight. Okay. The only thing different is there will not be a C game, but there will be a JV at 6, and then varsity to follow.
All right. What do you know about them?
I know they're very good. I know that they like to shoot the 3 even more than we do. I know that they've got a gal who's averaging over 20 a game and is pushing 100 3-point makes. So they're going to be a real fun team to play. I'm thankful they're coming down so that we can get a game in between now and our first playoff game, which is next Thursday.
Say, just to touch on something different, too, I see a nice write-up with Matt Middendorf from Browerville in the St. Cloud Times. That was nice to see.
I haven't seen that. I'm going to have to check that out. Matt's done a fantastic job at Browerville. I coached the young man when he was a sophomore and on this court and on the baseball field, so it's fun to see him having success at Browerville. He's done a fantastic job.
What is amazing about that Browerville girls team, 5 girls over 1,000.
That is incredible, and he took his lumps. When they were 8th and 9th graders, they took their lumps because, they were still the best that they had at that school at that time, but they just weren't ready for the varsity level. So he's earned it.
Boy, I'll tell you, though, their playoffs, it's loaded in that one.
Well, the Cromwell team that's coming down is in the other half. Mm-hmm. So I trust Matt's probably going to be sitting right next to you probably Friday night watching them and taking good notes.
I should get that boy on because he can talk.
There you go. Yes, exactly.
Okay, then the Sauk Center girls have the playoffs the following week. Do you have your seeding meeting tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah, okay. we go to Albany to seed at 7 o'clock. So we'll, in my mind, it's pretty cut and dried. But it's always interesting to go and listen to coaches and what they have to say. But, I don't see any scenario where it's not Sauk Center, probably Albany, Osakis, probably Holding Ford Long Prairie after that, and then Melrose. So, but that's what the seating meeting is for. I appreciate the coaches getting together versus just mailing it in or going by the QRF. So, I enjoy the meeting.
Can you explain that? How does it work where, say, like your half you vote as coaches, the other half then goes QRF?
I can only speak to our subsection. We were allowed as coaches to vote for how we wanted to seed, and the choices were QRF or coaches vote. And we voted pretty overwhelmingly coaches vote, and then we voted face-to-face or email it in, and more coaches wanted to meet face-to-face than mail it in. So that's how we came to that decision.
So in other words, when you do go face-to-face, can you kind of argue your point?
Yeah, every coach has a chance to kind of outline the highlights of their season and point out where they think they should be. And every face-to-face seating meeting that I've been at, all coaches have voted with a lot of integrity. I mean, you hear horror stories about how one coach will vote a really good team all the way down to improve their standing, but I've never been involved in anything like that, so I trust tomorrow will be the same way.
Well, because a factor could be, say for example, injuries.
Yeah, and I remember the year that Callie was a senior, and, she missed the first 20 games. We got her back at the end of the year, and it was very evident that she was full strength. Staples had beat us that year, but we gained Callie, and they lost one of their players at the end, and we were seated ahead of them. Actually, I think we were seated number 1 because of that fact.
Mm-hmm. Say it was, maybe to close out, thanks to the Alexandria Aces here tonight.
Isn't that a great show?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a fantastic show, and, they love coming to our gym because we've had a number of girls on our program go through that system. So I know that Kelsey and Maddie and Tori are Alexandria Ace alumni. So it's a lot of fun to get them in our gym because when you hear Alexandria Aces is coming, that's going to draw more people. The gym was awful full tonight. That was fun.
All right. Good game tonight. We'll see you Friday.
Thanks, Nabby.
All right. Thank you, Coach. That's Scott Bergman, the Sauk Center girls basketball coach, and also the Sauk Center athletic director here, as the Sauk Center girls have won over BBE 66-31.